Namaste. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Patam Shankaram Logashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vatarayanam Sutrabhashya Katau Vande Bhagavando Punah Punah Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः बुकारो अन्धकारो वैरुकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्याय नहेतसे नमः हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे श्री राम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने श्री राम नाम वरानन ओम नमः इति अयोध्यवासी राम नाम जी को जय हो. So we are in the last 5 verses of the Kaṭha Upaniṣad, and we are going to end in 3 or 4 weeks. And here Lord doth explain Nachiketas, the contemplation. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. 3 disciplines in the pursuit of Vedanta, which are concerned to be the most highest disciplines. All other disciplines are fertilizers. They make you a mature person to listen. They don't have direct connection towards the knowledge of our intrinsic nature. For example, if you are performing non-hurting, it's an indirect tool for our maturity to listen what is the real and what is the unreal. If you are performing truth in your speech, it's also an indirect means for knowing this self. But 3 direct means which are very much essential in the pursuit of knowing the self, they are Shravanam, listening towards the traditional teacher for a length of time without any confusions or without any other priorities in our life. Shravanam. Mananam. All possible mistakes are being taken care of by going through what I have listened from my teacher again and again. Samshaya Ajnana Nivaranartham. Ajnana Samshaya Vipratipatti Nivaranartham Mananam. Ajnana means ignorant about a particular thing after listening for a length of time. Samshayam, doubts, possible doubts, common doubts regarding a thing which I have listened for a length of time from the traditional teacher. Ajnanam, not knowing something or completely not understood properly, or doubts to be cleared. When you listen to somebody, the whole thing you should know. You should not have any doubt after when you do yourself. This is called samshayam. Vipratipatti, understanding something other than what it is. Wrong understanding, wrong conclusion is called vipratipatti. All these three factors are the most possible obstacles in listening. So listening completely, after that, mananam for deleting all these three factors and nididhyasanam. Very important state of a human life. That is, what you have listened, that should reflect towards the world through your life. Means in practical, you are acting what you have listened. This is called simply nididhyasana. In English, it's called contemplation. For example, as a politician, somebody will speak big words, hype words about the non-hurting and harming about animals and people. But after this 1 hour speech, he directly entered into eating something which is the dead bodies of animals, or he may involve in some other actions which are harmful for the human being. So this is a lack of maturity. After understanding something, you should act upon that. This is called contemplation. Owning the knowledge or acting according to what you have listened is called nididhyasanam or contemplation. In anything, in anything. After living with a group of sheep, a lion behaves like a sheep. But when another lion come into the so grazing along with the sheep. So this lion took this lion cub and shown inside the well, and they saw the shadows are similar. Now this lion cub, who is younger than this old lion, should act like a lion in his life, because the habit is to behave like a sheep. We are also like that. We lived a life as a human being in this world. We quarrel, we are jealous, we compare, we lie, we steal, we deny the truth. All these things are the nature of a human being, because human being is limited. Human being always with a limited way of understanding. The whole scenario is not clear for a normal human being. From this human being nature, after receiving the knowledge from a traditional teacher, one needs to act upon as an all-pervading self. I am not this human body. I am the consciousness which is pervading all around the universe. Who is the sustainer of the creation? I am not a competitor. I am not jealous at all towards anything. I don't quarrel. I don't lie. All these values are to be performed after knowing who am I. Because any lie is based upon one's own insecurity. I will be non-existing after they come to know my real form. So I lie myself. I lie my background. I lie my situation. I lie to take advantage of the current situation. All these things will disappear after knowing I am an eternal entity. So you act according to what you have listened. It's very important. From the nature of human being, one should transform slowly by getting connected with the real teachers, by listening to the teachings of Upanishads and Vedanta. Slowly, one needs to transform oneself in behavior. There is no ultimate transformation because something which is eternal cannot be transformed. Our own behavior due to our ignorance is to be transformed in this world after listening to the knowledge. This contemplation is being highlighted by the Lord depth in coming verses. We stopped in the 11th verse. I will read that verse and I will go to the 12th verse. Tam yogam iti manyante stiram indriya dharanam apramattaha tatha bhavati yogo hi prabhavapyayo. Already it's connected with the previous verse. It's talking about the means. Yoga, yogam. Yogam means it is having different meanings in our tradition. The important and predominant meaning is reunion, having together, reunion of a human being with the Lord, if I can say as a first step. I am a human being right from the childhood. I am being taught to behave like a human being. As a human being, I behave like a limited living being in the world because I have thirsty, I have
Lipji, please switch on the mic.
okay. I'm sorry. Now you can listen properly, correct?
Yes.
Okay, we'll continue. Due to the connection, due to the weather, I think, but fine, we'll go to. So, yogam, the word yogam means reunion of two things. As a human being, I am a seeker. And so this reunion is called yoga as a first step of understanding. Now, all the means which are helpful to reach the ultimate can be some other means like meditation, ahimsa, non-hurting, any other other values also called yoga. This is the second step. Here, yoga means one who listened carefully the Shruti Vakyas, the Upanishad sentences. After that, he understood what is to be done for reaching the intrinsic nature already accomplished. For that, I should give up all the wrong notions like this world is meant for enjoyment. The world is full of things which I have to enjoy in my life. Like these wrong ideas are being there, those ideas I have to give up. This is called viyogam, disconnection from the external world by the maturity you produced by listening the Vedic sentences from the traditional teacher. A mature person
Dilip ji, please switch on the mic and the video.
now it's okay.
Yes.
It will come and goes because we know that the winter, the weather is so much against us. Fine, we will go. So reunion by listening the Vedic sentences. I am capable of disconnecting myself from the external world, and I am having the senses under my custody. They are under control because the pressure has been released by the words of traditional teacher. There is no pressure for the senses to go out. Then always alert of the senses not to go to the external world, which can be an obstacle. Apramattaha bhavati. And also remember that this state is very much unstable. So one needs to put always effort to stay, to control the senses, and to stay disconnected from the external world. This is called yogam, which I already explained in the last class elaborately. Now we will go to the next verse, verse number 12. Naiva vacha na manasa praptum shakyah na chakshusha asti iti bruvataha anyatra katham tadupalabhyate. Naiva vacha na manasa praptum shakyah na chakshusha asti iti bruvataha anyatra katham tadupalabhyate. Here, because contemplation being highlighted, if is being emphasized, one may act upon this all-pervading Atman, whether we are in the midst of society, whether we are alone in the forest. We live as we are all pervading Brahman, who is free from death and birth, who is free from thirsty and hunger, who is free from all kinds of material limitations. So, word by word, I will give you the meaning. The pramana, Shabda Pramanam, we say. What is meant by Shabda Pramanam? Vedic sentences, Upanishadic sentences. What it says, it's talking about an eternal entity which is free from name and form. Arupam. There is no form, formless entity. So, something which is subtle is presented by the Shruti. Now, people may get confused of realizing this formless entity, and they will be searching outside this entity. Other than oneself, it is not available anywhere. That is what been told here. The inquiry should have an end. The pressure to go anywhere to see the Lord should have an end. The pressure to go here and there in search of spirituality should have an end. For that, he says, Lord Death says here to Nachiketas, in this world, anything is established by direct perception. By employing one's own senses, we accomplish, we realize there are things which are outside other than me. This is called Pratyaksha Pramanam, direct perception. It's very important to know what are the 5 ways of understanding this world, means of knowledge. One is direct perception. It is called Pratyaksham in Sanskrit. Pratyaksham is a direct means of knowledge. There is a person right in front of me. How I will confirm that there is a person right in front of me? I employ my organs to see him. This is called direct perception. I can listen some voices. Thus I come to know something is there nearby. Birds, kites, anything. So employing the senses, I confirm the presence of an entity in this world. And we are very much habitat of that. Very much familiar with that. To anything I want to confirm myself, I employ direct perception, pratyaksham. I listen with my words. I listen, I see, I smell, I taste, I touch. Thus, I will confirm the presence of something in this external world. Pratyaksha Praman. Other is inference, which is also based on direct perception. Inference can only act when you have certain data. There also direct perception is there. For example, if you come outside early morning, you see a lot of water outside the house, and you come to know in the night there was a huge rain. But in order to confirm that, everywhere you see water, you need some data directly perceived by you. You see some water right in front of your house. So direct perception is very important. So pratyaksha pramanam is very important in confirming anything in the world. We will also employ the direct perception by mistake to establish this consciousness. It's a normal mistake committed by a human being. Even now in the society, there are non-believers. If you ask them, do you believe in God? No, I don't believe anything other than what I see. God is not available for my perception, so I don't believe in God. Most of the people used to say. What I want to say, a, a universal mistake committed by the society and the people. Direct perception is the only means for them for establishing the presence of anything. Here, Lord Death says, any means of knowledge is only employed in the material world, but those means of knowledge like pratyaksham, direct perception, inference, five are there. Presumption, pratyaksham, anumanam, upalabdhi, arthapatti, anupalabdhi. All these means of knowledges can only employ in the external world, which are based upon the first means of knowledge, direct perception. So Lord Death says here, don't try to find out this Atman or this conscious entity externally other than you. Naiva vacha, a speech cannot make you to see the consciousness. A formless entity cannot be understood by the words. Then how the traditional teacher make me understand? Traditional teacher talk about the non-entities which are not there. From that, removal of them will make us to establish the real thing. Neti neti iti vakyena. Not this, not this, not this. And at last something will be there which cannot be told not this. Neti neti iti vakyena. Very important. Now, coming to the verse. First is naiva vacha. Through words, it is not available. Atma is not seen. The words is a representation of entire senses, pratyaksha pramanam. By employing your senses externally, you cannot establish your intrinsic nature. So don't seek the Lord outside. This is what we have to know. Na manasa, not by our mind. Thinking something, somebody told it's a red in color, it's a blue in color, or I see some form inside the temple, and I believe that this is the Lord. These are all beginning of the spiritual seeking. you don't stick with any form of which you believe in what is called Lord. Something which is formless, you cannot misjudge or you cannot confine something to a small form which is available inside the temple or in a church, etc. etc. So, with the mind, you cannot assume or imagine. With the external senses, you cannot see externally because the entire science is working with its direct perceptions. The science will collect data from different things and analyze, observe, and after that they establish. Still, direct perception is the means of knowledge, understanding the world. Yes, something which is available for your senses, you can understand through direct perception. Datas are important. With the datas, we can infer, we can presume. All these things we can do. Understand? So, apart from that, there is a means of knowledge, what we call Shabdam. Shabdam means Upanishad. It's a means of knowledge. Why? It also reveals a unique thing, which is not established by our senses or mind. That's why Shastram, the Vedic texts are means of knowledge. Shabda Praman. Through this, we can establish ourselves, our intrinsic nature. Why? What is being revealed by the Vedic text called Vedanta, it is not revealed by any means of knowledge. Anadigata abhadita palavat arthabodhagam asthobam anavadhyam cha. Praman, we have a beautiful definition. I'm not entering into that. So, anything which is unique, it is revealed. If it is revealed by means of knowledge, it will become pramana. A formless entity is revealed by the Vedic text. That is why all other means of knowledge are being incapable to reveal my intrinsic nature. Lord Death says that stop seeking the entity, your intrinsic nature externally. Don't go external in seeking. After receiving the proper knowledge from the traditional teacher, a person should know this. There is a goal which is already accomplished, where there is no effort employing the senses external. There is no need of speech, no need to be told by anybody, because your intrinsic nature is being established by yourself. That is not being told by anybody. Naiva Vaja. Traditional teacher reveals as a discovery, not an invention. You are not knowing something new. He is discovering something already existing through the words. So traditional teacher is only removing the obstacles. Traditional teachers are not giving you your intrinsic nature. already established intrinsic nature. You know in your day-to-day life, second by second, every second you are knowing this intrinsic nature. Pratibhota vithitam matam amrutatvam hi vindade. Another Upanishad says, each and every moment you are establishing your intrinsic nature. Only thing is that you mistaken. You made a mistake that intrinsic nature is your body. From that mistake, he corrects. Shastra, the mother, the Vedic text is considered as the mother. Mother help us, helps us to see what is our real form. It's called discovery, recognition of my real nature. So, not by the speech, not by the manas, mind, imagination, or assuming, nothing will work. Naiva chakshusha cannot employ your external eyes. Why? Direct perception is not possible for a formless entity. Then immediately non-believers will jump in front of us. Something which is formless and you establish as yourself. Are you bluffing us? Any formless thing is called a non-existent. Abhavam in Sanskrit. Atyanta abhavam. Any non-existing, anything which is formless, which is not available for perception, then Nirishwaravadi, non-believer of God, or very there is a big group who criticize this Agama, this Vedic text. They don't go with the Vedic text. They only believe what they see in this world or creation. Charvakas. All these people may contempt that Veda is talking about something which is non-existent. Never it is there in this world. Because it's not available for our senses. It is not available for our mind. And we have to contemplate on something which is not available. What a beautiful way of condemning something. So that's why Lord says, Asti iti bruvataha anyatra. Whenever there is a product, a simple logic we can employ, a product can only exist with the cause. Without the cause, there is no existence of any product. Karanam vina karyam na vaktum shakyate. Without the cause, there is no existence of a product. Whatever we see externally is a product. Karya in Sanskrit. A product is based upon the cause. For example, Adi Shankara says in commentary, Gatham, the pot can only exist because of the clay. Body can only exist. Body is a superimposition which is only possible when something is there to superimpose. This creation is a superimposition on which everything is superimposed. So the sustainer, the locus, the substratum is there. The product is not the real form of the Lord The cause which is the sustainer of these products is one, and that is the existing entity, asti. If somebody asks you without employing any of our senses, we just say, I am existing. Yes, I am. That's enough. My existence is being established without employing any of the senses. I am not asking to anybody. I am not employing one of my senses to prove my senses, to understand to prove my existence or to understand my existence. My existence will continue after teaching also. My existence was there before teaching also. My existence was there before this body coming into alive also. I was existing because it's a Janana Marana Rehita Sattva Bhava Dravyam. There is no death and birth for this entity, which is formless. That consciousness can only understood by the words of Shruti Pramanam, Shabda Pramanam, the words which are being revealed by the Upanishads will help me to remove my wrong notions. Na iti, na iti. This is not me. This is not me. This is not me. My body is not at all. My mind, not at all. Going again and again and again. There is a meticulous way of going inside what is the real. Systematic way is there. By doing this, what is really existing? Asti iti bruvataha. Other than telling I am, how can I establish, realize? How can I realize the entity which is free from all kinds of limitations? Asti iti bruvataha anyatra. Apart from saying I am the all-pervading Brahman. I am the limitless Brahman. I am the origin of creation, happiness, free from all kinds of limitations. But I am formless. Formless is the beauty of the entire creation. In order to become different forms, the ultimate thing should be free from a form. For example, gold. I already mentioned all these things. Gold is formless when you dig from the gold mine, so that it can be made into any form. Bangle, it can be chain, it can be nose ring, it can be earring, it can be necklace, anything. Why? Because gold being formless by itself, it can be modified into different forms. So the ultimate entity is being formless. The creation have different names and forms. Birds, animals, all are just a superimposition on the real entity. Remember that. Something very important. Superimposition is the key factor of understanding what is real and unreal. I am. Who am? That is been told by the scriptures. You are the eternal consciousness, unlimited happiness entity. That is being presented by the Shruti. My being consciousness, why should I inquire outside to realize the Lord, to see the Lord? I am the consciousness which is the sustainer of the entire creation. Other than that, whatever you come to know in this material world, it is all anatma, one single word for them. Other than my intrinsic nature, all are anatma, other than atma. This is being told by this verse, that other than saying I am, how can I understand or realize that all-pervading Brahman? I am the all-pervading Brahman, eternal consciousness. Without employing my senses, without employing my subtle mind, without employing anything, without having a support of anybody externally, I establishes myself. I am the consciousness which is free from death and birth. So no need of inquiry on anything to understand who is Lord. That's why sadhus, most of them don't go to even temples. They see themselves the Lord who is residing inside the temple. They don't pluck the flowers. They don't do pujas. They don't alter anything. They don't celebrate celebrations. Why? They are Atma Rama. They establishes themselves. Their intrinsic nature being the entire sustainer of the entire creation. There is no pressure of going somewhere. There is no pressure of going to some new temple or old temple. For a change, they may go. For a change, they may walk. For a change. But ultimately, there is no pressure of seeing the Lord other than oneself. So, Lord, that says contemplation means residing on oneself by controlling the senses without having any obstacles of external notions which I gathered. Just I am free to think about myself. I am this consciousness. Asti iti bruvataha anyatra katham tad upalabhati. How can I realize other than telling I am the self-consciousness? This is how one contemplate. There's no external form to keep inside the mind. I will read the next verse and we will continue in the next class because the weather condition is bit challenging. So we will continue with the class in the next we will continue with the next verse in the next class, but I will read and conclude. Asti ityeva upalabdhavyah tattva bhavena cha upayoho asti ityeva upalabdhasya tattva bhavaha prasidati. We will conclude now. We will continue in the next class. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshadu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Kshoparahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma kaschid dukkhabhag bhavet sato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma mritam gamaya om purnamatav purnamitam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamataya purnameva vashishyate om shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om